I mean, elephant in the room, I'm sitting here wearing a Christmas jumper. I'm warm.
If you are watching this on YouTube, Farah is sat in the coziest, and I'd say quite chic Christmas jumper.
Oh, it's statement. We're red and we're pink. It's bold. You and I have both lived in this region and in London.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall a single white Christmas in London in my lifetime.
No, it doesn't happen. I mean, my youngest is keep saying, they're like, oh, in London it snows. No, it doesn't snow on Christmas, Ada. It doesn't.
I was going to say, do you know where it came from? And you would say...
No, I don't. Tell me, enlighten me.
No, say Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
I'd say, wrong.
Oh!
Would you like to attend a birthday party with me?
Ooh, whose birthday?
It is a little known actor called Brad Pitt.
Standout character, Supper.
100%.
Yeah, she's my favourite.
So I'm sure you've seen memes of her around. You know how there's that phrase by Chanel that's like, before you leave the house, take one thing off.
Yeah.
Her thing is, before you leave the house, put a million things on. Like, I feel like that is her phrase.
Hello and welcome to Culture Bites. Today we're going to be talking about my first Christmas in the UAE, and Mariah Carey is coming to Abu Dhabi.
Big hype. Big hype.
I'm so excited.
We are going to be having a little party in the studio celebrating the milestone birthday of a certain Mr. Brad Pitt. We're also going to be talking about Dubai Bling because...
We have to. It's a must. We're going to
essential.
convince you of this.
I've not watched it yet, but I probably am going to by the end.
This is Culture Bites coming to you from the national news here in Abu Dhabi. I'm Enas and Farah.
And I'm Farah Andrews.
So, my first Christmas in the Emirates.
Merry Christmas, my friend.
Yes! It's not where the countdown has started. It has begun.
I don't think the countdown started. I think we're towards the end of the countdown.
Okay, listen. We have to confess something to everybody who's listening to this because Farah has been very much Christmas since...
December the 1st?
December the 1st. Do you hold back for the December?
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't do Christmas in November. I don't think that's appropriate. I think it's inappropriate.
I've heard that some people start it in the months.
I think there's a very big campaign for that in the Philippines, which honestly I love it. I love the energy. But me, myself, and I, and my dog and my boyfriend, celebrate it from the 1st of December.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting into the Christmas spirit this year. It's going to be a very warm Christmas compared to London.
Yeah, it's very different temperature.
Which it will make it different, I think. My Christmas outfit is very light this year compared to most years.
I mean, elephant in the room, I'm sitting here wearing a Christmas jumper. I'm warm.
If you are watching this on YouTube, Farah is sat in the coziest, and I'd say quite chic Christmas jumper.
Oh, it's statement. We're red and we're pink. It's bold. What does it say?
Candy cane, mistletoe, tinsel time. It's lush.
They're my 3 mantras.
How many times have you worn it this December?
Oh, like quite a lot, actually. You can see this is a well-loved garm. It's perfect. It's great. It's cozy. It's comfy. It's pretty. It's warm. I'm warm, but it's fine.
So tell me, when was your first Christmas here in the UAE?
Right. Yes. Christmas in the UAE. My family have lived in the Middle East since the 90s. So my first Christmas in Dubai would have been 1997, when I was 8. Yes. And like it was Christmas, right? There's no, like as a child we didn't really have the concept of what Christmas is and isn't, because that's it just is wherever
you are.
Yeah. But we have really nice like memories of Christmas. Like we would go out into the desert. There's photos of me and my brother wearing Father Christmas hats on camels. We've got pictures of us in the Wafi Mall, which is still there, which is the mall that's in the shape of pyramids in Dubai. They used to go very, very big for Christmas, and they did like fake snow, and there was like the biggest Christmas scene, and we've got all these photos of like my brother and I having an absolute blast.
So did you ever travel back, or would your family just stay here? Because the weather is great. Like, I do not want to leave the country right now.
This is the best time of year to be here. I think we mostly stayed here for Christmas. I remember having a lot of Christmases here in our house here. So we would have mainly been here. I remember rollerblading around by our villa one year.
Yeah.
I got
that Christmas tradition.
Yes, ye olde rollerblades. You got them in your stocking, right?
I don't think anyone wants to see that.
Yes, that was, and being able to spend as much time outside as we can at this time of year is so nice. Like Christmas Eve, garden parties. It's
Yeah.
lovely.
So I've actually got my mother is joining us for Christmas from the UK.
Nice.
So she's decided to come and partake in my UAE Christmas.
Yeah.
I think it's the weather. It's been a big draw.
That's bringing her over here.
Yeah, she's quite excited about just escaping the London drizzle
Mhm.
and coming to the UAE dazzle. That was good.
That was great, actually.
Is it good when you congratulate yourself on it though?
I mean,
Probably
I was
not.
about to congratulate you, so you just jumped in too fast, but I loved it. So we all have like this like big white Christmas dream,
Mhm.
but you and I have both lived in this region and in London.
Mhm.
I don't recall a single white Christmas in London
No.
in my lifetime.
No, it doesn't happen. I mean, my youngest is keeps saying that, like, oh, in London it snows. No, it doesn't snow on Christmas, Ada. It doesn't. It never has.
Eddie, you're in for a string of disappointments on the white
Yeah.
Christmas front.
Unless you go really, really north, or maybe there's parts of America. But I
Oh,
just
for sure,
think it's a
there's places-
fantasy.
There
It's a
are
fantasy.
places where it's snowing. Like we aren't snow deniers, but there is not snow in the UK. I learned something interesting yesterday about the old white Christmas fantasy.
Talk to me.
It comes from Charles Dickens
Ah.
because the year that he wrote A Christmas Carol was very, very snowy, and
Mm.
it was a flash in the pan. It was a snow in the London. It was a moment in time. It is not a sustainable dream.
It's Dickensian.
We have to let it go.
Well, that's obviously for people who are from London. But if you are from the Middle East, so I had a few Christmases in the Middle East because I lived in Jordan.
Yeah.
And they were lovely. They were quite warm. I lived in the south of Jordan, so it was still quite warm. And Baba Noel came to the school. I went to a Catholic school, and Baba Noel would come to the Catholic school and like ring his bell. He was considerably skinnier. I think it was the janitor.
Hey,
So no,
it was Father Christmas.
yeah, it was Father Christmas. Sorry.
No,
Anyone from the Rosary Sister School listening, it was Father Christmas.
it was Father Christmas.
But yeah, it was really lovely. I think that's it. It's like the tradition does come from the Middle East, right?
Yeah,
That's where
exactly. That's the
Christmas
thing.
is
So
from.
like we have like this iconography now that's like snowmen and snowballs and penguins have become a thing about Christmas. Cute snow, but it's not Christmas.
Christmas is from Bethlehem.
Yeah, exactly. And we were also writing about this week about Saint Nicholas himself,
Ooh.
who is Father Christmas, and he was born in Turkey.
See?
Yeah.
See? Middle Eastern.
Middle
like me.
Eastern.
Well, is Turkey Middle East? It is, isn't it? A bit. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna own it.
Geopolitics. That's another podcast that we do.
Yeah. We can talk about Ataturk.
Yes. No, so we got so he was born in Turkey and he was a patron saint of children. He was known for his generosity and he would give gifts. So that's kind of how it's become. I'm not going to do a full history lesson. And then modern day Father Christmas, who we now identify as that man in the red suit.
Was that Coca-Cola?
I was going to say, do you know where it came from? And you would
Ah.
say,
No, I don't. Tell me, enlighten me.
no, say Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
I'd say, wrong.
Oh!
So that bit worked. No, it was a drawing in early 20th century in a magazine called Harper's Weekly, which I didn't have enough time to go and check if that actually did become like Harper's Bazaar, but let's maybe say
Maybe.
there's a link. And so, yeah, it was a drawing in Harper's Weekly of him in like the red suit with the white fur trimming. And that's from a
Ah.
Dutch tradition on St. Nicholas's Day. So it all kind of ties in together.
Ah. Well, I think that's it, right? I think that Christmas is celebrated lots and lots of different ways
Yeah, exactly.
and crosses lots and lots of different countries, and people have brought in different traditions, one being the Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree.
So the Christmas tree obviously isn't a tradition from Bethlehem.
No,
I don't think.
there aren't big fir trees in Bethlehem.
No. There's big cedars in
For
Lebanon.
sure, but not big
No. But
Norwegian firs.
not Norwegian fairs. But that's a German tradition.
Yeah.
Which was popularized by Victoria and Albert, who came and brought in
An English-German couple.
an English-German couple, strong, love them. But yeah, they brought in a Christmas tree, which was a kind of way of keeping your house smelling nice and it just feeling a bit cozy when you're locked up for long winters in the dark.
And I do feel cold and in the dark right now, but I am feeling pretty cozy beside my Christmas tree. You and I have both got our Christmas trees up.
Yes, I have a real one as well.
They do. It's
Yeah.
lovely. And
I
yours?
almost bought a fake one. We had a discussion over what was better for the environment. a fake one or a real one? Because you've got like to think about the carbon. You see?
I think probably. Oh, I don't know if you're going to
Ooh.
like my answer.
It's not plastic is what the answer is. I think that a real one, because technically we had this discussion, it was a really long discussion,
Okay.
right? You're planting a tree, that's good. You're planting lots of trees, that's good. And then when you're finished with the tree, you can recycle it.
Right. So this is the key. You did say this yesterday. We can recycle our trees here in the UAE.
Yes.
Move like wood chip, I'm assuming.
Yes. So you can recycle your Christmas trees. There's lots of supermarkets, I'm not
Okay.
going to name any, that will help you recycle them. So you take them back there and they will help you recycle your tree. And they actually churn them up, make them into fertilizer in the UAE.
Okay. That's
And
good.
it's used to, for the soil.
Okay, that's better. One of my neighbours, when I don't
Mhm.
want to shame anyone, but they do still have a Christmas tree outside their front garden from last year.
Ooh, that's not pleasant.
They should take that to be recycled.
They should take that to be recycled. Or the other thing is you can do it at home. You can chop it up, burn it.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing that I cannot not talk about, Christmas movies. I care about them so much. Yes, I care
Here we
about them so
go.
much. No, don't bring
It's
that
okay. I'm
energy
going
to
to try
the
and
room.
convince you of Dubai Bling later.
Okay,
so you
exactly.
can convince me of Christmas movies.
So I mentioned it last week. I've been watching quite a few. Have you watched any yet?
Yes.
Which ones have you
Chicken Run doesn't count, does it?
No. She's watched Chicken Run. Is there a bit where it's like a bit snowy in Chicken Run?
No.
Right. Then no.
We watched Father Christmas. No, Blooming Christmas. What's that? Oh, that's not a movie.
I'm going to employ that HR technique where you just don't say anything and you let them just carry on going.
Oh my god, your eyes are hurting.
Okay, it's fine. You don't have to
Okay,
watch
I'm
Christmas films.
sorry.
Don't put pressure on yourself where
Okay.
there's a lot of things to be doing.
I could have said Die Hard, right? Some
Y-
people say Die Hard.
Yeah, there is the debate. Is that a Christmas film or is it a film set at Christmas? It's the
Ooh.
latter.
What's that one with Cameron Diaz? I don't mind that
The
one.
Holiday. What a
The
lovely.
Holiday.
That's on my list.
Okay,
Wonderful.
go on then.
Okay, we have a list. Good and a bad. Right. Here's the thing. Christmas films are, I do think, meant to be inherently bad.
Okay.
They are. I'm not striving for quality. I'm striving for something that basically feels like it's been AI generated and it's basically against everything that actors and writers have spent the year working for and campaigning for and doing incredibly well. I want them to focus on that for every film for 11 months of the year. 1 month of the year, I want them to throw the rule book out the window. I want them to go to ChatGPT and say, write me a cheesy Christmas film. And I want it to be city girl leaves high pressure job, goes back to the small town, finds man, very handsome, wearing flannel.
And she's like, where did you come from?
And
Oh,
he
do
says,
you not remember me?
the bookshop.
Oh.
There's always a bookshop.
And there's always a bookshop.
She says, no, I work for a big, bad publisher. And basically also describing You've Got Mail or
Or just all of them.
yeah.
She's
no.
always high powered. She's on her phone.
She's always on her phone.
Yeah.
She always has a lovely haircut. She's got like a slick bob. By the end of the film, there's a wave. She's
doesn't-
relaxed.
She doesn't know.
By the end of the film, she too has bought flannel,
Yeah. Oh.
which is, the character arc has evolved when she's out of that stuffy suit that's holding her back from happiness and she relaxes and she puts on a Christmas jumper. She gets out the air wrap, she puts a wave in her hair and she sits back and she says, yes, I will have a hot chocolate,
Oh,
not a
God.
black coffee.
A cup of Joe.
I'll embrace the season with marshmallows.
Oh, wow.
Lovely.
And then she just quits her job.
Yeah.
She moves to this
To the
middle
bookshop.
of nowhere.
To the bookshop. She moves to the
Bookshop.
bookshop.
And has a dog.
Listen, I've written the film, so everyone can
Okay.
just like commission it, do it, go, boom.
Oh, God.
That genre, phenomenal. I literally watched one that's basically that. Here's what it is. Travel blogger from the big city. This is a real film.
What is this film called?
B&B Merry,
And where is this?
Netflix. Is it available to watch now? Yes, it is. Am I working for Netflix? No. But would I? Yes. In their Christmas film commissioning department.
Dream job alert there. I mean, I thought we'd peaked at Taylor Swift correspondent, and now you've got this.
Yeah, they gave that to a guy who did seem quite qualified. B&B Mary. This is her job.
Okay.
She's a travel blogger. She is going to go and review a big corporate hotel, and then then a little family-run B&B invite her, and she's like, "Oh, fine, I'll go do both." As somebody who works with the travel department, it's kind of how it works. She goes to 2 hotels. Obviously, she gets to the tiny hotel. There's a man there who is outrageously handsome, who is wearing flannel.
Yeah.
Um,
Does he take any notice of her? Or are they angry at each other? Is there
there's
some
a
sort
tension. There's
of,
a
oh
tension.
yeah.
Has he
Always.
kit her entire room out in plaid? Yes. There's tartan everywhere.
Oh God.
And he's got like his mum and his aunt keep making her cookies. The whole thing is chaotic.
Yeah.
It's cliche after cliche. It is magical.
And these
Oh,
are
also
very unknown actors.
Oh, and there's not a single name in the film.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend, big mean corporate man, refuses to come and spend a nice weekend in a B&B with her, and they act like that's a breakupable offense. I would be like, cheers, I'll have a nice weekend.
I'm happy. Me, myself, and I.
It's great.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, everyone watch
when you
it.
say great, I'm peppering that statement with Farah.
She's wrong. She should just hear great. There's also a Castle for Christmas. Have you heard of that one? That one
No.
has got a famous person in. Brooke Shields.
Oh.
She's an author in New York, big bag city. It's awful. The pressure is terrible. She gets invited to Scotland.
Oh, she gets invited to somewhere remote.
Scotland. This is a Scottish castle. She goes through Edinburgh Airport. The whole thing's chaotic.
So it's not plaid, it's tartan.
It's actual tartan now at this time. But she probably still calls it plaid. She meets the monarch of the Glen. He's a man in a castle. They obviously hate each other. He is an English actor who does the worst Scottish accent for the full 90 minutes. You just have to abide it. Obviously, yeah, they fall in love. She moves to the castle, the end. She does not write any more books for her big meme but publishing people. Everything is about running away and going to the countryside.
It's everything about these women just leaving their jobs behind that they've worked really hard for.
I have seen quite a lot of funny memes. It's like if you watch them in reverse, it's like sad country girl finally like gets success when she moves to the city and gets a job she likes. Like actually, that's great.
Okay.
She starts drinking less hot chocolate, more black coffee.
I love black coffee.
So do I.
So maybe I'm not in the eggnog world yet.
Oh. No, we're not. We're not eggnoggers. We're still the villains. This is probably going to get cut, but I'm going to just chat for a moment. My boyfriend's from the US, and we went back to like his hometown recently. It was very autumnal. I think I've spoken about it on the pod already. And when we were there, he was wearing flannel, and I was like, in the Christmas film,
God, in the Christmas film of our lives,
I'm the villain. I'm the black coffee drinking journalist that's holding you back in the bad city. Oh, you just want to go there and be happy in flannel in a small town with a girl that probably runs a bookshop. I was the villain in our Christmas film.
You've got a dog. You're like homely. You're country.
Yeah, sure. We have a dog. Frida's not the villain in any film, but
No,
she's the hero in everything. But and then there are obviously good Christmas films. I'll give some a mention because they should be mentioned.
Wait, you keep saying this word good and great. I just don't feel like.
Okay, I'll be honest. The 3 that I just mentioned are in my section of bad Christmas films, but they're so bad that they're good.
Good.
Right, actually good Christmas films. Love Actually is a given.
Yeah, Love Actually is
slightly problematic. It's aged a bit, but there are elements of it that are great. Also quite chaotic because the Christmas lobster. But I love
Knightley is hilarious in that film.
Oh, that whole storyline.
Pretty. I can't help but say that.
It's all me. The Holiday. We've spoken about that.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a great film. Although I do feel like Kate and Jack aren't a great match.
They were an afterthought in the writing process.
Yeah. Because it's all about Jude and Cameron.
It's Jude and Cameron, and it's Kate and the scriptwriter. Theirs is the real romantic arc. Miracle on 34th Street, original and the new one. Lovely. Just a film about Father Christmas, meeting Father Christmas. Beautiful.
Okay.
Bit corporate, but we move. Everything is. Elf.
Elf is a good.
Modern classic, I'll give it that. That's the label I'm giving that.
Yeah.
Muppets Christmas Carol. Dickensian. Also a Christmas. It's wonderful. Scrooge is the only human in it, and it's great.
Everyone else is played by a Muppet.
Exactly. Which is what Christmas is.
Ah, yes, true.
Deck the Halls.
What's that?
That's a good old film about just a street waging war with Christmas decorations. and outdoing
Oh.
each other. I think I've given that a good synopsis. Would you say I have? Thanks. And Christmas Vacation. This is one I've been introduced to later on in life, but it's a ye oldie one. By ye oldie, I mean like the 80s. It has famous people in it that I'm forgetting the names of.
But
They'll
that's
come
one
to
to
me.
watch. And
It's
when-
actually, it's just that's a comedy of errors.
I quite like those.
I like comedies of errors.
We haven't spoken about Home Alone.
Home Alone 1, 2, and not 3 because
No. Okay.
Home
Great.
Alone is great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
And maybe I'll try and
remember
rewatch that this
Christmas
season.
Vacation. Okay, we need to move on from this because I've been talking for about 25 minutes and I am really warm.
So from Christmas movies, we're going to be talking about what to look forward to. Well,
I've got a seg. From Christmas movies to Christmas angels.
Christmas is Mariah Carey to me.
It's her time.
It's her time, and she's owned it for so long. With one song, we're not going to sing it. Do you want me to? No.
I mean, I do.
But Mariah Carey. So I know we usually leave what's going on around town to our man about town, but Mariah Carey is Christmassy, and she's one of my all-time faves. So I've got tickets. I'm excited. I want her to sing all of the early
I want
2000s.
everything. I don't want anything really on that set list past 2001.
No.
We want classics.
There was something.
I want Heartbreaker. I'm basically going for Heartbreaker.
Wasn't that after 2001? That was a great
I would have
video.
thought not, but
So
I don't know.
I rewatched.
Maybe
her
2005.
video.
I'll give her until 2005.
Okay. I rewatched some of those videos, and I think that when I was young, I just didn't appreciate how brilliant
Yeah.
she has. But sometimes you watch these videos and you're like, "What? This looks terrible. It's awful." But actually, she doesn't. She looks great, and the fashion's come back. The fashion has come.
Oh,
back.
very much so. It's very. She's in vogue.
Yeah.
So you have tickets. She's coming here in January the 6th, I believe.
Yes.
Which is
very soon.
mighty soon. She's performing on Saudi Island in Abu Dhabi on the same night, same run. Andrea Bocelli is also playing. I've seen Andrea Bocelli a couple of times. Have you seen him?
No. Very good though.
Very impactful performer.
Ah.
I do believe he's played at a number of Kardashian weddings, and it became a bit of a feud between the sisters. So if he's the kind of person you're getting at a Kardashian wedding, it's top tier.
It's very top tier. Oh. I
She's-
wonder if he performs at other weddings here. Probably does.
Of course he does.
Oh.
He comes here quite frequently, actually, but so does Mariah.
I didn't know this.
So last year she performed in Al Ula, last October, at a kind of like private performance for the
Were you
opening of a
invited?
hotel. Oh my goodness, yes, I was invited. But I didn't go.
What?
No, it was a very last minute invite. I didn't go. It was being taken over on a private jet to Al Ula and watching her.
Oh my God, stop.
Yeah, I couldn't go.
See, these are the perks of
So
your
one
job
of my
and not mine.
colleagues went and watched Mariah. She wasn't allowed. You weren't allowed to film any of it and record it. It was all like locked down. But by
She
all
was there.
accounts, Mariah was there. She also performed in Dubai in 2019 for a 1 year to go until Expo concert, which obviously no one knew what was going to happen in 2020. So we were celebrating 1 year to go until Expo in 2019. And she performed in Burj Park. And there's lots of lovely photographs of her outside the Burj Khalifa with her children.
Now, I feel like Mariah and the UAE in general is like such a good match.
Yeah, match made in heaven.
Yeah. I feel like, Mariah is definitely one of my alter egos. I'd love to be like
She's
her.
wildly extra.
And I live
What a
for
glamorous
it.
woman. Glamorous woman, extra attitude. It's all perfect.
It's brilliant.
And you're going.
So I'm going, and I hope she comes back again already.
Would
bring-
you like to attend a birthday party with me?
Ooh, whose birthday?
It is a little known actor called Brad Pitt.
Ah, that was good.
Guess how old he is? Oh, you know.
Well,
Play along at home.
I'm going to play along.
Guess how old Brad Pitt is?
Brad Pitt.
I genuinely would have said like 48 max.
Yeah, I said maybe 52.
Yeah. If I was really thinking about it, like I know how old I am. He's been famous my entire life. I could engage some maths, but I would not have said he is 60. The man turns 60 this week on Monday, the 18th of December.
He's the same age as my mum.
Is your mum 60?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to your mum.
Yeah.
Big year this year for both her and Brad.
Brad is 60. Wow.
I cannot get my head around it. But then I was thinking about it, kind of like what I just said. He has been the definition of like Hollywood actor, Hollywood heartthrob my entire life.
And he's still there, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he hasn't really, I think he hasn't really passed that crown on. Chris Hemsworth? No, he's not got the same gravitas.
There's something, I don't know, that I guess there's maybe more. There's more celebrities now, aren't there?
So he's Hollywood royalty. He celebrated his birthday this week.
Yes.
60.
60.
What is going on with him?
At the moment, he is taking a break from filming an F1 theme movie that he's in the pits. Brad Pitt in the pits.
Also, Abu Dhabi.
That's the headline. Someone take it. They probably read it already. Whatever. Damn.
That's why they pay her the big bucks.
That's why they pay me. They pay me regularly and on time. He celebrated his birthday with his new girlfriend, who's called Enas and Farah.
That's a sign. We have a very similar name.
Oh,
It's like the Spanish version of my name, Ines.
I love the name Enas.
Ines.
Enas de Ramon. What is your favorite Brad Pitt movie?
So I started rewatching Fight Club last week. And I think that's kind of like, such a basic answer, isn't it? Or I suppose Thelma and Louise would be even more of a basic answer.
And mine, Benjamin Button, even more basic.
Oh,
We're a trio of basics.
Meet Joe Black was good.
Yeah, less basic.
Less basic. But yeah, I was
complex.
I would argue that Fight Club is complex. But once you know what happens in Fight Club, when you're watching it, you're just like, this is just weird. I remember the first time my mind was blown. Like, what?
Yeah, I think I've seen it twice. So I'd have had one watch through, been like, one watch through.
Yeah. Yeah. So I started rewatching it again. It is really good. And it's a really solid performance from Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. So I don't know how that ended our last conversation because we've cut and I've brought him back up.
Right.
Okay? Because
I'm about to be ganged up on.
Yeah, I think some things need to be discussed.
Hey,
okay?
listen, this is not a gang up. This is a mediation.
You're so
We need
nice.
to sit you
Oh.
down
I'm
and
way more
explain
violent.
to you
Is it mediation or it sounds like an intervention?
Intervention. The truth of the matter, which is that
Dubai Bling is something to remark on, therefore remarkable.
yeah, it is a pertinent part of today's pop culture landscape that must be commented on.
Wow, they've
Yeah.
both come in with sound bites. Were they rehearsed? Did you rehearse that like you think Taylor Swift
All week.
rehearsed her entire interview?
All week. So you love it. You're not sure.
Right, I watched series 1 and there's a time and a place, 100%. I'm not anti at all. I I'm not having this is not the face of anti-Dubai Bling.
Okay. I think a lot of people are though, and I think it's okay. I don't agree though.
It is inherently terrible, right?
Yeah, but that's why it's brilliant.
I mean, we've just spoken about my passion for good things being bad, so
It depends
there.
on your definition of terrible. Like reality TV as a genre could be classified as terrible. Now, within that genre, Dubai Bling, is it the most terrible? Probably not. Is it doing more harm than good? No. Is it doing more good than harm? I think so.
Does it not perpetuate some stereotypes that I don't think are actually like there's like nothing about that is realistic and emblematic of life here.
I think Farah's got a good point. I think that there's definitely a lot of stereotypes that go through Dubai Bling, which people who have a vision of the UAE sometimes think that is what life is like. But I would argue that it's opening up Arabs and the Middle East to a demographic.
Okay.
And I would argue that I think all reality TV shows of that nature play up stereotypes. Like
So-
the Real Housewives or
I remember when
whatever.
we had these conversations when Real Housewives of Dubai came out because people got very angry about the idea that this was going to be the show and that wasn't representative of housewives in Dubai. But I also remember thinking, none of us are watching that as like a documentary about the life of a housewife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is not a like Real Housewives of Atlanta is not just like an inside the homes of Atlanta.
No.
place.
It's like Towie. The only way is Essex.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I have many friends from Essex. None of them like Towie.
In it.
But I do think that show
Good one.
has exactly this. That show has like created this world where everyone thinks that's what Essex actually is like.
Mm.
Okay, I get that. But
But
the
I think-
fashion in Dubai Bling is hilarious.
Okay, I have seen a woman wearing a Rolex as a hairband.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
I might have put that on my
Dana, I
Instagram.
think that's her name. I think as well, like the people on the characters on there are doing it on purpose in a way. I'm not trying to make them sound like super smart or something, but they're sort of playing up these
So there
stereotypes.
is there's like strategy and there's like
Yes.
they're amping things up.
Yes, they know that this is going to create like a buzz and people are going to be talking about it. Like to me, what I find fascinating on the show is two things. First of all, I think season 1 was much better than season 2. I'll say that. I think season 2, the stereotypes are more, the storylines are more flattened. There isn't that much depth. Like in season 1, I was very surprised by the topics they were discussing, like everything to do with like infidelity,
Infertility.
Yes, infidelity, topics around what it means to be Arab, and the fact that they were speaking a mixture of Arabic and English and Arabic in different dialects. I've never seen that on TV before. I
Yeah.
found that really interesting.
There's definitely groundbreaking in that sense. Like friends of mine who are in the UK are watching Dubai Bling and they're actually interacting with Arabs, maybe sometimes for the first time, other than myself in their lives. And I think that's kind of a bit groundbreaking because they've
Yeah.
never heard Arabic on TV.
But those, so yeah, it's groundbreaking. But also, are these the representatives?
They aren't, but I think it's the first step in like maybe the next reality show or the next documentary is going to exist
True.
because they're like, oh, there's an interest. It's kind of like I compare it to the Crazy Rich Asians novel and the
Yes.
movie. People were like, no one ever thought like a movie about Asian Americans is going to make a lot of money, right? But then the novel by Kevin Kwan did amazing. The film was like a big blockbuster, and it opened
Both
up.
the novel and the film are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're great.
They're huge.
His,
Brilliant.
his new novel's coming out, I think, early next year. But yeah, so I think that opened up the idea that like people are interested in stories about Asian Americans in Asia. So I'm hoping that this is kind of a first step towards that. Like
Towards just like normalizing Arabs as like, international. We like fashion. We like,
Yeah.
fun stuff.
But I do think that this season could have been much better. I think like there wasn't that much depth to the storylines. We weren't learning much about their actual lives, their actual struggles. I feel like maybe there was a bit of, they were really surprised by how successful the show was, and they were really taken aback by people online commenting about their lives and about their choices on the show. So I felt like everyone sort of took a step back and just wanted to put their businesses first. So I kind of was like, no, I want to see more about your family dynamics, about the struggles you're going through, more than about like just the fashion and just the funny one-liners or their businesses. Like that's interesting, but to me, a reality show is also about people's actual
Yes.
lives.
I think, going back to your point about like, is this the best representation? I think there were a couple of arguments in this season that just seem to focus on like, is your car rented?
Yeah. Why is your Birkin bag in a dust bag? Is it rented or
That's
is it real?
that's like the meme I've seen everywhere. The Birkin in a dust bag.
Yeah. And that is quite sad. That is quite tragic. I hope that's not what people take away from the Middle East.
No.
I have a couple of questions. One, I've seen a lot of fight footage. Are there a lot of physical fights in this show?
No. In the first season, there was one like close physical fight with a coffee cup being thrown about. In the second season, there's a more of like, "What'd you say, bro? What'd you say, bro?" stuff happening. But that it kind of just ends with that, like "What you say, bro?" fights. They never really end up with a physical fight.
No one says anything.
Nobody says just "What you say, bro."
No one's saying a thing. And two, Monica Tan's in it now. Monica Tan.
Yes, she is. She's the new
Huge.
addition. I enjoyed her as a character on there because she is a very like Switzerland. That's the right analogy.
Yeah.
Kind of character, but also she was the only one that actually showed us her life. Like she's newly married. We met her husband. She talked about the fact that she's a bit trepidatious about potentially becoming a mother. She's not sure if she wants to get into motherhood. She talked about her new business. She brought in her father, who's Iraqi, and talked about how her father sold his home to support her and Huda's business. Like these little details about people's lives, I find really, really interesting.
I've met and interviewed her quite a few times, and she is the loveliest woman. She is.
You can tell. You can tell from the show.
You can tell. And like her love for her dad is really like so
Yes.
beautiful. I think I agree with you. I think this season felt a bit flat. Like I felt like I didn't really get to know anyone. But standout character, Safa.
100%.
Yeah,
She is
she's my favorite.
So I'm sure you've seen memes of her around. She's like super over the top. Her fashion, her personality, her sense of humor.
Is she Rolex in the hair?
No,
No.
she is like glitter on the eyelashes, or what is this called?
Okay.
Eyelids. Big things happening here, colorful.
She wears a full camouflage. Is that Balenciaga suit?
Yes, I think so. With the lion,
Yeah.
animal print. of course.
Watch it just for that.
Okay.
You know how there's that phrase by Chanel that's like, before you leave the house, take one thing off.
Yeah.
Her thing is, before you leave the house, put a million things on. Like, I feel like that is her phrase.
Okay, right. You've convinced me. I will watch it.
Yes! High five.
I'm going to watch it in the new year because I've got a lot of things to be watching, as we know. Got a list.
Christmas movies.
And yeah, but I will watch it. I will watch it.
Amazing.
And report back.
So now let's go back to what man usually comes in here.
Resume normal scheduling.
Yeah, we're going back to normal scheduling. What's it about town?
So I'm here to elevate the conversation from Dubai Bling. Is that what we're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yes. Okay.
Make us all feel smarter again.
So there's some pretty cool things happening that I got to see. So the first one that I think people should go to is, I'm not sure if, have you been to Sharjah yet?
No.
No. There is
Whoa,
something.
really? Oh,
It is
big-
an experience.
That's
It's
a-
far from Abu Dhabi.
It is far from Abu Dhabi. But if you're, I think it's definitely worth the trip.
weekend of art for
Yes.
sure. We'll go on
Okay.
a school trip.
Not a school trip.
There is the Sharjah Art Foundation, which just going there doesn't really matter what show is on. It's such a beautiful place. They have a mixture of like modern architecture and old sort of Arab Bedouin architecture. But currently, they have a really great show, and I'm going to read this out loud. It is called Plated Time / Deepwater, and it's by two artists, Lubaina Hamid and Magda Starowska, sorry. And they were commissioned by the Sharjah Art Foundation. So Lubaina, she is the first Black British artist to win the Turner Prize in 2017.
Big.
So she's huge. She's a really well-known artist, and she was commissioned along with Magda, who's from Poland, to create works about Sharjah and their experience of Sharjah. So they spent time in the city. They went on the port. They went in the market area, and they observed the architecture. They listened to sort of the sounds of the city, and they created artwork separately and together in the exhibition. And what's really cool is throughout the 3 gallery spaces that they have their work, you see their own separate work, and then you see some works that are combined. And there's text around the gallery that talks about their experience of being in the city. My favorite work is a combination of a work they worked on together, which has Lubaina's paintings, and then Magda, who is a sound artist, has these speakers that have been placed around the space that if you stand in the center, you hear parts of the city's sounds
Wow.
mixed with Arabic poetry that she was really interested in, and you're looking at the paintings at the same time. So you're kind of getting this idea of Sharjah through their different perspectives combined in an art space in Sharjah.
Lovely.
Yeah. So, and another really cool thing is they have these massive Japanese paper scrolls with amazing prints on it that on it is projected images of the Sharjah, different images of Sharjah on it. So it's really cool multimedia, multi-sensory exhibition. And it's fun for not just people who are really into art, but people who are sort of interested to go to Sharjah Art Foundation, and also people who have children and teenagers. Like, it's a really great way to experience the city through art. Yeah.
I love that. I've got nothing
Convinced?
to add. Yeah.
Sold. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
You
take the
actually, you
kids.
definitely should go to Sharjah for creative and arty day out.
I went to Sharjah in 2001.
Oh,
It's a very different city compared to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Like how it looks, how it sounds, the different restaurants, the different cafes. Like I really like Sharjah.
A lot of people say that to me. A lot of my like cool friends,
Cool friends.
they say that they really like Sharjah. Yeah. Okay. What else is going on?
What else is going on? Well, speaking of Sharjah, actually, the Big Bad Wolf sale is happening. It happens every year, but this is the first time it's happening in Sharjah. So they have tons, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books. And what's really cool is that usually when you go into a bookshop, you either get books that are new releases, or you find like the classics, like
yeah.
Jane Austen's and Charles Dickens. But what I've always found from the Big Bad Wolf sale is that they have that middle section that I like, which is books that were really popular like 10, 15, 20 years ago that are sort of hard to find. And they have books across genres and for all ages. So children, adults, like even books like about gardening or about how to build a car or whatever. And lots of really great, I found some really great Candace Bushnell novels that I couldn't find in any bookstores. So it's on until I think the 6th of Jan from 10 a.m. to midnight. So it's
Oh,
on
it's
for
quite
really
late.
very late because they
Yeah. It's
really
like a
want
real
people to come in.
warehouse
It's a
sale.
really
Oh,
warehouse sale, and it's
brilliant.
great for last minute Christmas
That is,
festive gifts. Yeah,
this is why my eyes have got wider.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
Books
that's a good
they
place
are
to
so
go.
affordable. They're kind of like they start from like 5-10 dirhams
Wow.
realistically for
Mm.
books. So you can go in with 50 dirhams, you can come out with like a good set of
Selection.
books. 100 dirhams, you're coming out, you need to take a duffel bag.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you know what? I always say, I feel like I'm always saying this, but like take your kids. Like it's a fun thing for kids to go to. Like they can run off and look at books, and you can run off, look at books, and you can come back together and get books together.
The children's books are really like I've bought a lot of Christmas presents for friends there in the past because like children's books you aren't really looking for like a specific like name or genre. And so you can get like really cool like puzzle books and interactive books that are extremely affordable.
Oh, that's the kind of thing you go and you can stock up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Stock
many
up for the
birthday
year.
parties.
Yeah,
Just
especially
stock
if you have
up.
kids.
Oh, well, that is great.
And you can talk about one more artist. Is that the
Oh
truth?
yes! Oh my God! Of course, this is so cool. Okay, so if you guys didn't get to make it to the Arabian Days festival that happened at Manarat Sayidat over the weekend, they had a really great exhibition of an Iraqi artist called Muhammad Shobar. So he is a painter and he paints like stylized semi-abstract paintings. But his collection of work, over 20 paintings, focused on a period of Arabic history that not many people are super aware of. And it focuses on this real life figure called Antara ibn Shaddad. So he is from what is now Saudi Arabia, but back then it was just the Arabian Peninsula. And he is known as a warrior and a poet. Now, he was born to a Saudi king, and his mother was an Ethiopian slave. So technically, he was born a slave because he was African Arab, and at the time that was common. But he bought his freedom from his father by defeating people who were attacking his tribe. Now, that's kind of the beginning of the story, but the main part of the story that most people know about is the fact that he was really in love with Abla, who was his cousin, and he was not permitted to marry her because he was technically a slave and she was not, and she was like higher status in birth. But because he won his freedom, he was offered the chance to win her hand if he performed all of these tasks. And I think one of them was to obtain a camel from some really, really far away place, but he obtained like 100. So there's all of these like really interesting stories about how he traveled around Arabia and did all these tasks to win her hand, and that they would meet in secret in this rock in Saudi Arabia that's called Hajat Antar, the stone of Antar, which still exists in Saudi Arabia, and it's a tourist spot that you can go see that allegedly they would meet and hang out there. So he ended up winning these challenges and winning her hand, and he dedicated 2 poems about her. So Muhammad Shabbar, the artist, created these paintings focusing on this love story, and particularly the poem about that Anta wrote about Abla. And what's very cool about his paintings is that he combines these ideas of pre-Islamic Arabia and the characters and how they're dressed, but then he adds like modern elements. So he'll add like Abla holding car keys, or Abla on a treadmill, or holding a Balenciaga bag, or yeah, it's really
That's
funny.
so fun.
Yeah, or Antar like holding a big red teddy bear that is like symbolic of Valentine's Day. Or both of them sitting in a cinema eating popcorn. So it's like this interesting combination of cultural references that are very modern, mixed with our ideas of like pre-Islamic Arabia and also Islamic Arabia with like the decor on the border. So he kind of has this visual language that combines all this stuff, and it feels like you're watching a really interesting surrealist fantasy or something. So I really enjoyed his paintings. I got to interview him, which was cool, and I wrote a review on the show, and we have a lot of photos from the show actually on our website. So I recommend that you guys Google me and read the story.
That's so cool. I remember that story as a child, and I also studied like I studied pre-Islamic Arabic.
Oh, right.
So
Where did you study that? I believe it's a university in the UK.
Yeah, it's a university in the UK. It's a small university. So I think if I say it one more time, I'm gonna
Like bingo.
Yeah, sorry.
So you studied some of his work?
Yeah. Well, we studied as well, like the fables, but we did like Al-Mutanabbi.
All right.
And so there was like other things that were into. Oh, I feel so nerdy. I'm going to stop talking.
No, it's cool. I like his stuff. He's a really interesting character.
Yeah, I need to go back and like really.
I think what the art or Muhammad Chobar said that's really fascinating that struck a chord with me is that the issues that Antara bin Shaddad faced are issues that a lot of people face today, which is classism, racism, trying to sort of prove yourself in society's expectations, which I thought was really interesting. A story that happened hundreds of years ago is still relevant today, unfortunately.
I like the way that she's brought in her handbag then. He's
Yes.
given her handbag. That's very Dubai Bling,
It's
right?
very Dubai Bling.
It all
Full
ties
circle
in,
moment.
It ties in.
Yeah.
And that is it. That's all we have time for today. So thank you so much for listening.
And if you've liked this podcast, please follow and subscribe on your favourite podcasting app. And don't forget to tell all your friends and family about it.
Bye.
Bye.